Looks like one of my video gaming heroes, Phil Spencer, has been a busy boy recently. What am I talking about? Well, stick around for this video and I'll tell you more after these opening titles. So cast your mind back to March 2021 when Bethesda and ZeniMax, their umbrella company, were bought out by Microsoft and Phil Spencer for the paltry sum of $7.5 billion, which made that Disney acquisition of Star Wars of $4.3 billion chicken change. So today, nobody even knew this was happening. I suspect some bigwigs knew it was going through, and when I say going through, it has just been confirmed, but it's going to take at least 18 months. So Activision Blizzard have been bought for nearly $70 billion by Microsoft. I mean, these guys are just coming out swagger money, and it's a cash payment as well from what I believe. It's just absolutely insane. So Eurogamer have talked about it a bit more, which is pretty cool. The deal, which is expected to be approved in 2023, but that has to be confirmed by the Monopolies Commission, was confirmed in a Microsoft blog post from Xbox boss Phil Spencer. The monumental acquisition, you think? By far the largest ever seen in video games and the largest in Microsoft's history. It means that the following blockbusters will now be under the control of Microsoft: Call of Duty, Spyro, Guitar Hero, Crash Bandicoot, and Tony Hawk from Activision, Warcraft, Diablo, Overwatch, which nobody talks about anymore, Hearthstone, and StarCraft from Blizzard, as well as Candy Crush from Mobile Arm King. So this, I tell you what, this gets a lot more interesting, folks. So Microsoft will take over Activision Blizzard and all of its subsidiary studios, including Beenox, Demonware, Digital Legends, Hyman Studios, they're really good by the way, Infinity Ward, King, Major League Gaming, Radical Entertainment, Raven Software, Sledgehammer Games, Toys for Bob, and Treyarch. That accounts for around 10,000 employees. So basically, we're talking about rough count, maybe 33 studios that Microsoft will now own, which is pretty insane. The deal comes after a turbulent period of Activision Blizzard. Again, a bit of an understatement after numerous reports of employee misconduct and toxic workplace conditions and intense pressure on the company's hugely controversial boss, Bobby Kotick. For now, at least until 2023, Kotick will stay in place, but Spencer did have this to say. Until this transaction closes, Activision Blizzard and Microsoft Gaming will continue to operate independently, Spencer wrote. Once the deal is complete, the Activision Blizzard business will report to me as CEO, Microsoft Gaming, which is pretty nuts. So I think a few things are going to happen here. Some people are saying at the moment that Sarah Bond may eventually take over Phil Spencer's position, but that won't be for a few more years, so anything can happen between now and whenever King Phil decides to step down and hand over the reins to somebody who's more worthy than he is. But how can he be more worthy than Phil Spencer? My first thoughts were, what's going to happen to Bobby Kotick? So look, if you go to this article here from Wesley Yimpole, who looks a lot like Alex from the Angry Joe show. I've always said that actually. So Bobby Kotick, now this is last April, he accepted a 50% pay cut, but that means he's still going to get his contractual bonuses, but at the moment he will earn $875,000 a year. So why I say these bonuses are contractual? Because they have to be depending on your performance. People have said that Bobby Kotick doesn't really perform. He just takes oodles and oodles of cash and does nothing with it except get richer and richer and fatter, and probably still finds it hard to get himself a date. I mean, have you seen the state of the guy? But I will say this much as well. People wanted Bobby Kotick removed from the top, but when you got your shareholders backing you, that's not going to be really that easy to do despite all the protestations, all the allegations leveled against Kotick, the fact that no one's got any hardcore receipts, it's all hearsay, which is not the same as having it in paper or in a screenshot, do you know what I mean? And Bobby Kotick has got friends in high and low places. It's a bit like our current UK Prime Minister, Bozo Johnson. People want him to step down because he didn't know he was really going to a party. He just seemed more like a work dude during the pandemic. But I mean, Boris Johnson will not be able to, he will not step down. Of course he won't. Over something like that, over a public outcry, no. You can shout, you can scream, but if you haven't got the hardcore receipts, no one's budging. I will, however, predict this. Once this deal goes through, if the deal goes through, Bobby Kotick will one day walk into Phil Spencer's office, and it might be the last time he does it because Phil has not been satisfied with his job performance. Phil will fire Bobby Kotick, the big fat pussy's ass, out of the door. Now, as you know, if you've watched my channel in the past, I talk about Gears of War quite a lot on here. Not as extensively as I should, but it's my favorite IP from Microsoft. I love the old legacy titles, not the trash that the Coalition gave us with Gears 4 and 5 and that insufferable Kate Diaz, but I'll be making a video on that in the near future. But I will say this much, can you imagine taking Marcus Phoenix and Delta Squad and putting them in a Call of Duty game, make them the central characters? How do you think that will go down? I think that will be monumentally awesome. But speaking of that franchise, I still think Phil Spencer and co, now he's not confirmed anything at this stage, they should continue to make Call of Duty a multi-platform selling title. I'm kind of curious to see where this all goes in the end, but it's exciting news. It's going to be very interesting because it was a cash payment from Microsoft to acquire Activision Blizzard. But yeah, all eyes are on Bobby Kotick and what's going to happen, what his future is going to be. I'm pretty sure Kotick knew for the longest time this is all taking place and he's just kind of sitting down, keeping his peace. Now, as you might not be aware, both Phil Spencer from Xbox and Jim Ryan over at PlayStation both attacked Bobby Kotick over the public airwaves about the fact that he wasn't getting a leash, he wasn't getting a grip on what was going on at Activision Blizzard with those allegations and the misconduct that's been going on. So I'm kind of curious to know that when Bobby Kotick finally comes into the fold, what that relationship, that dynamic is going to be between him and Phil Spencer. Interesting stuff, right? So folks, if you enjoyed this video today, please do me the biggest favor of all. Hit that subscribe button, like the like button, and I will see you on the next video.
Like and subscribe, or get your nuts Krogan crushed with Jason King.